there is this trend at the minute that it's kind of cool to have a brand or be involved in a brand. The success of a brand is down to the individual and whether that guy knows what he's talking about.
We can be our own bosses. So for me, streetwear or just independent business in general is we're at the stage now where it's about to blow. You should be able to see this on your camera still.
It was 3:15, home from school, turned on TV and watched Arthur. Now it's 3:15 AM and I'm out here just trying to move the last halfers. Got a team line, don't let my barber. He getting black though, it's white and it's marker. I swear down, fam, there's nobody harder. Man, it's 300 like Sparta. Let me get back to the late nights. Black sky, street lamps and break lights. I rode in a city called Brumtown, where the boring tourists come down, but the ends are grinding.
So in terms of is it harder? Nah. I mean, the only thing you could say is hard about it is it's more competition, but business is competition, so nah, I don't. I think being from Birmingham actually gives us an advantage, if anything, because there's no one repping from how we repped it. The way I see it is, it's like I said, LA, they've got the Lakers vest. London, obviously London gets bigged up in everything no matter what. So for me, it was like Birmingham's jersey, Birmingham's like basketball jersey is going to be the 0121 hoodie. So for me, it's just like merchandise in the city, just putting a brand on it. Obviously back in like 2007, 2008, 2009, we had a group called C.K. We was like one of the biggest music groups in Birmingham at the time. So for now, it's good to kind of step back from that side, like in a musical sense, operationally, but to see that the scene's giving us the love in the same way, the same respect. Because it's different now, it's not MySpace plays or YouTube clicks. It's people actually wearing and purchasing and supporting us in a physical sense, you get it? So that's big. Especially the artists that we're working with, these are ones we've chosen. We don't go out and give our stuff to anybody, and a lot of them don't get it for free. They've actually invested in the brand because they believe what it stands for. So that's big for me.
Living the American dream with a vengeance, I'm gonna get it.
I was saying that if you buy from a brand and you're looking to complete your outfit from a brand, there should be another product offering as part of that brand to get it. To me, it's just a no-brainer. So it's going to be hard graft. It's not going to be easy because unlike selling a t-shirt, you've got to smell this. And I can't go around the whole world making you smell it. Obviously, I ain't got time for that. However, if you're looking at how I think my brand should look and what my brand should be offering, it's a no-brainer. So you know, it could have gone one of two ways. I wanted to make it cool for street. I wanted the street people to think positivity was cool. So for me, it had to have a kind of street feel to it, first of all. Because there was no one walking around with a cap or a t-shirt saying hope on it 3 years ago. That's just it. That's a full stop. So we had to make it look cool. So the kind of theme background for it really was tapping into where I come from and what I'm used to seeing in my environment and kind of translating that to a way that people think is cool. Barbershops and tattoo shops where you already go, you're already getting your hair cut, you're already getting tattoos. Approach them first, that's your first distribution channel. Before you can get to JD's or get to anyone else, you have to prove you can sell in a retail face, like in a face-to-face. Everyone thinks internet, it's the only way to go, but it limits who you can get to in it. Obviously, anyone can walk past the shop now and they can get exposed to no hope just from walking past the shop. But then I'm going to my website, I'm about to direct them there, you get it? So for me, like, has to tap into, I think there's a massive link between independent small business shops and streetwear. 25 now, I'm a grown man. From a little world as a snowman. Putting that flake on the roads. Now I do this thing with the clothes. Just trying to get some dough from my own plan. Can't make new pain from my old plan. I learned that bar from my old man. He told me I'm gonna be the next up. Let go cube with a Toko hand. Gotta take this thing with my both hands. Can't bump my grind like a soldier. Don't even talk too much though. Sometimes you just gotta show man. And I'm good with the keys like Chopin. Double entendre, keys, Chopin. Look, I've already told man, don't get the blast gassed up like a coke can.
The 0121 champions arrived, probably your girlfriend's favourite. Friends want Man CD, they be waiting patient. I treat music like my occupation, there's no relation. I don't vote with pagans, man, don't say a word like my name was Jason. I lost the motivation, so man had to lead them to it. Told that girl, call me what you want. Don't call me when I'm in my zone, though, leave man to it. We're on our own, don't need no crew in this thing to do what we do, man. Do it different, then man had the chance but blew it. Listen, got down on my knees and prayed, now things are looking up.
Yeah, it's sick that everyone supports. You can't you can't get anywhere without people being behind you from your city. So for like artists, like people like JK, there's been loads in the past. For them to support us is major, man. Like, they obviously rate what we're doing. We've always been big fans and rated what they're doing. So, you know, for them to, well, for us to come together and big up the city as one is a winner for everybody, you know. In the big smoke, man, London, you miss out on a lot of events and links and things like that, but also in Brum, it gives you a scope to do your own thing and not really follow their trends. If you know what I mean? So you can be your own brand rather than falling into that like category of a London brand and the hype stuff, and you can focus more on what you're trying to achieve with your brand. It was what I've always wanted to do. It was something I've always been passionate about, you know, clothing, and also obviously with government, it's the political side to it. I've always been involved in that kind of stuff. So to bring them together and for people to support it and keep it going, that's mainly what keeps you driving to do it. Obviously, people want to wear it, so I'm more inclined to then be down to send it to, you know, send them with the goods, because you want them to wear the stuff, you know.
Hey, yeah, I've never broke a bone in my damn body. Music is my job, not my damn hobby. Niggas get slapped at damn gobby. Yeah, I just want stack money. Why you haters want act funny? Yeah, as a youth man, I used to yak money. Now we
Them man wanna send for me. Envy and jealousy, it's everything I wished upon my enemies. See me doing well and now they're telling me they're getting me. I just fly Western Link Melanie. Times I was selling green. Now I've got more stones on my watch than a cemetery. Girls can remember me, F you in your memory. Just see what you telling me. Got me fly tonight, can trust me, everything we're getting free. Everything
I started UKDE, I was a consumer. I like fashion, I like clothes, but my problem was that I go shopping, I think I've got the hottest clothing, but someone else is wearing it. Like the next day I see my friend wearing it. So that's the problem for me, because I don't want to look like a robot, you know what I mean, a clone. So I went online and you try and find these independent brands, but when the things come in the post, it doesn't look like how it looks, and it's just a bit of an issue. So I started UKDE to create a platform for these independent brands and try and bring it to the same level as the high street. When I was growing up and I was on the scene, and that we was all in the Italian clothes, we was in the Moschino's and Versace's, and we wouldn't dare to wear a brand that your next door neighbours made, you know what I mean? So I think America started it, but I believe that the UK brands and the clothing that they're producing is much better, and that's in regard to fit, style, and just taste in general. Also, I think it goes hand in hand with music and the whole urban music. I mean, back in the day in America, it was the hip-hop that started the whole streetwear, but now with the UK scene and all the independent brands, I think the whole UK hip-hop and grime has kind of elevated and worked together to create a new culture. In regards to what makes a successful brand, I think you've got to have quality in your clothes. No one wants to wear cheap clothes, and at the same time it needs to be reasonably priced to match the quality. Or even if you can price it lower than a higher quality, then you're laughing. But people want to wear something that means something, you know what I mean, and stands for something. So that's one of the main things I think. You got to make your brand, or make your name, or just the clothing itself, make it stand for something. Don't just make it another hoodie or another t-shirt with a name on it. I mean, like I said, I require pictures from brands all the time. I require all this stuff, and some brands haven't got the pictures or the right pictures. They want to just take a picture of their clothes hanging up on the wardrobe, which is not good enough. But the photographers now, the way that they're doing their thing, and the equipment that they're obtaining, and how they're advanced using their software, whatever they're doing, but they're producing some good stuff, man. Like, you know what I mean? There's some photographers, I can't think off the top of my head, but I know from Birmingham, and I do see a few brands that use these photographers, and they've just got a look, man. Especially when it comes to streetwear, it adds the look to streetwear.
So my name is Jason Foreman. I'm the present owner of Projekt 21 in Birmingham.
Make yourself at home. We got diesel or some of that homegrown. Sit back in your throne, turn off your phone, cause this is our zone. Videos, televisions, 64s, PlayStations, Webb Henry with precision, a few herbs and a bit of Benson.
The store is mainly based around skateboarding with hints of streetwear. There's a couple of brands in here that we do that edge towards that way, but primarily it's sort of 97% skate. We just keep it cool. We don't try and do that corporate thing. We value our customers and we look after as many people as we can. And we're just trying to focus on the new stuff coming through. So the idea of the business is to move forward on new school brands that are really sort of niche, that the corporate world won't go for, that have got really cool skaters behind them. The thing is, there's so many brands out there, regardless of whether it's the skate industry or not. There are just a lot of brands out there, bedroom brands, that are very cool in what they do, that potentially could cross over into either streetwear or skateboarding, depending on the guy who's working the brand. And it's almost a weekly thing at the moment with what brands to look out for. I've seen more of it recently than ever before. And I think the difference between making a success of that brand, i.e. taking it from the bedroom into a store, or flopping, is the determination of how really you want it to work. Because there is this trend at the minute that it's kind of cool to have a brand or be involved in a brand, and that's just a trend that kids are more into retail at the moment. The success of a brand is down to the individual and whether that guy knows what he's talking about, whether it's he's interested in the materials, the style of cut and sew, designing. There's a lot to be said for taking a brand out of the bedroom and putting it on the streets.
Hits and demons. Wake up, man, I go work, I don't go bed. Might link a ting with a big back, she's so peng. I left some gums at yard when I'm wearing it so rank. So I change clothes and I make dough with the bros them.
Profit is vanity. All profit is vanity. It's about cash flow. It's about reach. It's about legacy.
With the bros them. Being lazy.
Birmingham for streetwear, it's on the rise, as well as streetwear itself.
With the bros them.
Prez, I heard you roll with 2-3 bros. They were like, nah. Can you
It's the determination and the underwriting of whether you want to be that brand or not.
Came with rage on beat. Me and my
Fans, the drive as well. I always wanted to do it. That's what keeps me going, man, and the love for it, obviously.